Jane children, welcome back to today's biology video class. Today we are going to study an important topic which is coming under respiration, that is electron transport system. So this explains how energy is formed. In this electron transport system, there are mainly 5 complexes are present. In addition to these 5 complexes, there we can see 2 prosthetic groups also. In these 5 complexes, the first complex, which is NADH dehydrogenase complex, and here we can see flavin mononucleotide and iron sulfur compound. So this is called a complex. The second complex, which is called a succinate dehydrogenase complex, that also consists of iron sulfur compound. Then the third complex is cytochrome BC1 complex. Here 2 cytochromes are present, B and C1. Then comes the fourth complex, that is cytochrome C oxidase, which consists of cytochrome A and A3. And the fifth complex is ATP synthase that we have studied. This is an enzyme which consists of 2 particles, F0 and F1 particles, which is coming under the fifth complex. In addition to these 5 complexes, there we can see 2 prosthetic groups. They are ubiquinone and cytochrome C. Now look at this picture. This is a picture of mitochondria. Respiration is happening inside mitochondria and cytoplasm. Glycolysis occurs in cytoplasm and Krebs cycle can be seen inside mitochondria. Now we can see the energy which is formed, that is after Krebs cycle we can see the formation of NADH and FADH. All these products can be seen in this matrix portion. This portion is called a matrix. And this is the outer membrane. This is the inner membrane of mitochondria. And this is matrix portion, and in between outer membrane and inner membrane there is a space, and that space is called a inner membrane space. So this is an enlarged portion of a section of mitochondria. So here we can see the matrix. This is the matrix portion and that can be seen here. This is the inner membrane. So inner membrane is represented like this one. This is the inner membrane, and this is the space between inner membrane and outer membrane. So that space is called inner membrane space. So this is the inner membrane space. So this is represented here. So this is outer membrane, inner membrane, and the space is inner membrane space, and here we can see the matrix. The end product of Krebs cycle or TCA cycle, that is NADH2, FADH2, GTP, all these are present or all these are formed inside the matrix portion. And this NADH2 has to convert it into ATP, isn't it? NADH2 or FADH2 has to convert it into ATP. So it may enter into electron transport system. At that time, ATP will form. How it happens? That can be explained through this electron transport system. So now we can see NADH2, FADH2, all these are formed on where? On this matrix portion. And for this electron transport system, there are 5 complexes are present that I have already mentioned. Complex 1, complex 2, complex 3, complex 4, complex 5. And all these complexes are located on this inner membrane. Inner membrane consists of all these complexes. Here we can see the products of Krebs cycle, that is NADH2 and FADH2. So this is the first complex. The first complex which consists of 2 additional group, that is a flavin mononucleotide and iron sulfur compound. All these are present on this complex, first complex. So the NADH2 which is formed after TCA cycle get reduced and the protons will enter inside the first complex. electrons also received by the first complex. By the reduction of NADH2, the electrons and protons are received by the first complex. First of all, it will enter into flavin mononucleotide. Then from the flavin mononucleotide, the protons will be released to inner membrane space and the electrons will move to next iron sulfur complex. So from this flavin mononucleotide, electrons are moving to iron sulfur. And from that complex, the electron is moving to ubiquinone. So this is another prosthetic group that can be seen on this membrane, inner membrane. So the electron is moving to ubiquinone. At the same time, ubiquinone get reduced by absorbing the protons which is present in the matrix portion, and that protons will be released to the inner membrane space. Here we can see the second complex, which is succinate dehydrogenase, which is one of the step which can be seen in Krebs cycle. Succinic acid is converted to malic acid. At that time, FADH2 is released, isn't it? So this complex that is called a succinate dehydrogenase is the complex, that is the second complex. So from this ubiquinone, the electron is moving to dihydroxyubiquinone. From there, the protons are moving to inner membrane space, and the electrons again move to the third complex. Third complex is which consists of cytochrome B, then cytochrome C1, and also iron sulfur compounds are there. So from the second complex, the electron is moving to third complex. Third complex, first of all, it is moving to cytochrome B. Through cytochrome B, it's moving to iron sulfur compound. Then it's moving to ubiquinone, and ubiquinone at the same time, it receives the protons from the matrix portion and convey the protons to the inner membrane space. And from there, the electrons are moving. So from here, from the cytochrome B, electron is moving to iron sulfur, then it's moving to ubiquinone, then it's moving to dihydroxyubiquinone, and then moving to cytochrome C1. So here we can see the movement of electrons. So here we can see the movements of electrons only. So that's called the electron transport system. So from the cytochrome C1, the electrons are moving to next complex, that is cytochrome AA3, and in between there we can see an intermediate one, that is cytochrome C. So from cytochrome C1, the electron is moving to cytochrome C. Through cytochrome C, it's moving to the fourth complex, that is cytochrome AA3. And from there, the electrons are received by the oxygen, and that leads to a formation of water. So when we are observing this pathway of electron transfer, here we can see the electron is moving, electron is transporting through these complexes. At that time, what happening? Here we can see the protons are accumulated in the inner membrane space. So here we can see the protons are accumulated here. Here we can see when one molecule of NADH2 is released, that leads to formation of here 2 protons, here also 2 protons, here also 2 protons. Total 6 protons are released by the reduction of one molecule of NADH2. And FADH2 is releasing. The steps can be seen from here onwards only. FADH2 reductase complex is situated on, that is on the second complex. FADH2 reducing complex, that is second one. So this step will start from here only. So when FADH2 is reduced, 4 protons are released. 4 protons are released on the inner membrane space. So here we can see the accumulation of proton on the inner membrane space. So what happens when the protons are accumulated here? A proton gradient occurs in between the matrix and this inner membrane space. Here we can see the proton accumulation, and on here the matrix portion proton deficiency can be seen because all the protons are absorbed or all the protons are transported here. So here we can see the accumulation of proton on the inner membrane space and deficiency of proton occurs on the matrix portion. So as a result, what happened? the proton gradient occurs, and the proton gradient will breaks through the ATPase enzyme. This is the fifth complex. So this is the fifth complex, that is ATPase enzyme. ATPase enzyme has two parts, F0 part and F1 part. F0 part is located on the membrane, F1 part is located on the matrix portion. And this enzyme, this is considered as the fifth complex. So when a proton gradient occurs, the proton will move from higher concentration to lower concentration through this enzyme. Through this ATP synthase enzyme, proton gradient will break. As a result, energy will be formed. By getting that energy, this enzyme becomes activated. So how this enzyme becomes activated? By the breakdown of proton gradient. As a result, ADP combines with inorganic phosphate to form ATP. And for the conversion of one molecule, for the formation of one molecule of ATP, two protons are to be released. And here we know that when one molecule of NADH2 is released or reducing, there we can see 2 proton here, then 2 proton, and here also 2. Total 6 protons are produced. That means 6 protons are released, means that leads to a formation of 3 molecules of ATP. That I have already mentioned, when 1 NADPH2 is equal to 3 ATP. At the same time, 1 molecule of FADH2 is reducing. The step will start from here onwards only, because the FADH2 reductase complex is situated here. So here this proton will be absent. So the total proton which is produced, there will be 4 protons. That leads to a formation of 2 molecules of ATP. So FADH2 is producing 2 ATP and NADH2 is producing 3 ATP. So in this way, the electron transport, an electron transport chain can be seen. Here we can see the electron is transporting. At the same time, protons are released. A proton gradient is working out there, and the proton gradient is breaking up, and that leads to a formation of energy. And at last, the electrons will enter into the formation of water molecule. So this is the electron transport system.